John Assarf is a best-selling author, successful businessman, and one of today's most sought-after neuroscience researchers. We had the opportunity to sit down with John and to hear firsthand his passion for discovering and teaching people how to release the mental blockages that hold them back from achieving their fullest potential. You are a one positive guy, let me tell you.
Well, the alternative of not being positive is that you don't feel good, you don't achieve the results you want, and everybody around you wants to leave you. And so it was something I was taught to do when I was in my early 20s.
Just didn't come to you. You've had challenges. And you know what you did with your challenges, which I really love, is you've turned them into results.
I got really fascinated many, many years ago about the brain, the connection between my mind and my body. When I was in my early 20s, I ended up with something called ulcerative colitis, which means I had ulcers in my colon.
Well, you took medication, you went the traditional route.
Oh my God, yes. Taking 25 pills a day.
Crazy.
At a certain point, the doctor says, if this doesn't get better, we're gonna have to remove 20 to 30 inches of your colon.
Wow.
And so when I started to look at the cause of my illness, I wasn't eating as well. I was under a lot of stress, and the stress was causing my body to be in a state of dis-ease. So your thoughts affect your body affects your mind, and it's an entire ecosystem that we actually have control over. So as opposed to being a victim of my symptoms or my circumstances, I learned the art of eating well, the art of visualizing, the art of meditating, the art of reducing my stress. And within 5 weeks, I didn't have to take my pills. My doctor wanted me to stay on the pills. He wanted me to stay on the medication. And I said to him, I've been researching the cause of this, and I've gotten rid of the cause. Mm-hmm. You're still wanting to treat my symptom.
Well, it was almost like you were in a prison. And you freed yourself.
What's really funny is a lot of people will look at their results and they don't like it. Then they focus on the result.
And they're getting more of it.
And they're getting more of it. So they're creating a self-fulfilling cycle of negativity.
People get into that habitual behavior, whether it's good behavior or whether it's destructive behavior.
Right. If they just recognize that we can choose in that instant a different way of thinking, and then if we learn the right actions, just one little step, now we change the trajectory of what we think and feel tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Over the course of a month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, we're in a totally different destination.
Absolutely, but that's where you come in. How do we get them to focus on the good ones?
If you think about how a baby learns to walk, right? A baby doesn't just, stand up one day and walks. A baby crawls first, develops the muscles,
and
then
falls
stands up and falls.
So that the muscles get stronger, right?
Muscles get stronger, and then all of a sudden it becomes automatic. And so we're designed to repeat whatever it is we've become accustomed to thinking and doing and feeling every day. We actually become addicted to the emotions. If you think about a 30 or 40 or 50-year-old adult, we've got 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 hours of thinking and feeling and believing and becoming addicted. And so we have to retrain or rewire a new way of thinking and feeling. And so most change doesn't happen overnight. Some habits you can change in a day. Other habits might take you a year to change, depending on how strong the patterns are in the brain.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
How do you rise above what your brain is doing? When I was 19 years old, and my life was an absolute mess, on my way to jail or death, one of the two.
Wow.
And I know because some of the people I was hanging with went to jail and a couple died.
Wow.
I met this gentleman, this mentor, who was healthy and happy and wealthy and a great relationship and a philanthropist. And I looked at him and I said, listen, my life as it is right now pretty much sucks. I'm, lacking confidence, lacking certainty, doing things I'm not proud of. Your way seems to be a much better way. I want what you have.
Right.
He asked me a question that changed my life. And he said to me, he says, John, are you interested or are you committed to that? And I looked at him at 19 and I go, what's the difference? He says, well, if you're interested, you're going to give me excuses. You're going to tell me all the reasons why you can't
do it.
He says, if you're committed, that means you will do whatever it takes, honestly, legally, no excuses. You're not going to stop when you feel doubt. You're not going to allow your fears control you. You're not going to allow your old habits control you. You're going to make a decision to change. So are you interested or are you committed? I'm committed. We shook hands that day and I've never looked back. I learned that I should set my goals in writing. And so every day I would take my written goals and I would look at them and I would read them, and then I would close my eyes and I would feel, and I became my goals.
You created the reality in your mind.
I created the reality in my mind first through repetition, and then I needed to learn what to do.
You have to have activity to go with them.
Well, you have to have activities that are the right activities.
Absolutely.
There's so many people who are busy, they're working really hard.
Really hard.
But they're just doing the wrong things.
Absolutely.
Today's science is showing us that every time we have a thought, okay, there's an image that's formed in the mind. The more we have that thought, the more the image gets cemented in our brain. The more we believe that's reality. So I learned that it wasn't enough just to write your goals down on a piece of paper. You had to retrain your brain to believe that that was true. I took all of my written goals and I started to cut out pictures from magazines of whether it was the body that I wanted,
Right.
the house that I wanted, the trips I wanted to take. I just cut out pictures and I created these vision boards, I called them. One was for my health, one was for wealth, one was for contribution. And we moved from Indiana, where I was living. All of my furniture and all my vision boards went to storage. And I moved for 3 years. I moved to different places. Then I moved to San Diego. And one morning, after all of the movers brought all the furniture and everything, I cut the boxes that were sealed for 3 years now.
Yeah.
So I pulled out the first board, I looked at it, and for a second, I was a little stunned because on the board was a picture of this house that we're sitting in right now.
That is absolutely incredible.
So not a house like it, the house. So imagine I'm in Indiana, and I'm making these vision boards. I'm cutting pictures out of Dream Homes magazine, and I picked out this picture of a home that I loved the look of. And I used to close my eyes, and I used to just pretend that one day I would live in a house like that.
Right.
I didn't know where it was. I looked at that vision board, looked at the house, and go, oh my God, the house that I cut a picture of, this is it.
Yes.
And tears started to come down.
It still gives you a little hair raise in the back of your neck, doesn't
Absolutely. All of my life's work, bam, came to a total understanding where I had an epiphany that our thoughts matter. My daily focusing on what I want instead of what I don't want, the more we develop the right beliefs, the more we learn how to develop new, empowering, constructive habits. You're either going to take whatever's happened in your life and use it to propel you forward, or you're going to use it to be a victim of your past and circumstance.
Yeah, close the jail cell.
Close the jail cell.
I know.
And if you're in a jail cell, moving the furniture around doesn't make a difference.
Not really. You're still in the cell.
In the cell. Instead of asking yourself whether you are worthy of the goals that you want, ask yourself if the goals that you want to achieve are worthy of your life. I want a really great life.
Yeah.
I want to contribute as much as I can. I want to fulfill as much as I can. So I put these outlandish goals on my board. I said, if I'm going to trade my life for it, I'm going to set some big goals.
Okay.
And one of the best ways to feel like your life is significant is to contribute to the life of another person or many people. And my goal is to help the person out there who says, hey, I want more out of life.
Right.
I want more than I have right now, not from a selfish, egotistical perspective, but from a healthy perspective of I want more because I deserve more and I could become more, and in becoming more,
can give more.
Well,
think about it. If you're not good with yourself, you have no ability to help someone else.
Right.
So that's not selfish. That's actually selfless.
You change the inside first, the outside results take care of themselves.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
This is amazing. And you know what? Thank you for sharing your time and your lovely home.
Thank you so much. It's been great to be here, and it's been an absolute joy, being with your audience.
And thank you so much for being here with us. And until next time, just remember to enjoy.